The extensive tariffs imposed by US President Donald Trump, which initially focused on Canada, Mexico, and China before extending to all steel and aluminum imports, are provoking a global consumer backlash. Boycott initiatives against American products are gaining traction in Europe and Canada as both businesses and consumers turn away from US goods in protest against what they perceive as unjust trade practices and Trump's increasingly confrontational stance towards allies. This movement is driven by a combination of economic retaliation, nationalist feelings, and dissatisfaction with Trump's foreign policy. The repercussions are already evident across various sectors, including liquor, tourism, automobiles, and technology. But what is the situation of boycotting US products in different European countries and Canada? Canadians have started boycotting American products, and shoppers are actively checking labels on things and want to know where everything is made, taking the task of boycotting US products seriously. Supermarkets have also removed American products from the shelves, and American businesses are feeling the pinch. Additionally, Canada is planning to charge toll tax on trucks going to Alaska and looking for options to restrict oil, gas, and electricity supply to the US. Before I proceed, I encourage you to like the video and share your views on the topic in the comment section below. Your feedback is invaluable for us and a wider audience around the world. The increasing animosity Canadians are showing towards American products has started after Trump repeatedly threatened Canada with a 25% tariff on Canadian goods, most recently slapping a 25% tax on Canadian steel and aluminum. Trump also talks often about his desire to make Canada the 51st state of the United States and called Justin Trudeau, Canada's then Prime Minister, the governor of the 51st state. Canadian businesses, including large and small, have also been turning down American products, starting with non-essentials such as alcohol and spreading toward a wider variety of food products that economic experts say could hit different levels of the agriculture supply chain. Large grocery chains such as Sobeys and Metro across Canada are also spotlighting local products in response to patriotic sentiments. Experts say that depending on the size of the target and the length of boycott, the agriculture sector in the US could suffer, especially under the current push to cut back on federal spending. A report indicates that global interest in the term Boycott USA has surged, especially in countries such as Luxembourg, Denmark, Sweden, France, and Canada, as evidenced by Google Trends data. Numerous Facebook groups focused on boycotting American products have gained tens of thousands of members, advocating for consumers to opt for local or European alternatives. In Canada, the tariffs imposed by Trump on steel, aluminum, and various other goods have sparked a wave of patriotic consumer activism. Many Canadian enterprises are encouraging shoppers to support domestic products, while provincial governments are taking measures to exclude US-made items from official contracts and retail displays. In Europe, discontent with Trump's trade policies has merged with dissatisfaction regarding his broader foreign policy actions, including his remarks about NATO and his attempt to purchase Greenland, intensifying animosity towards American brands. The boycott initiative has transcended economic measures, with cultural figures and businesses increasingly distancing themselves from the United States. Will Canadian or European businesses also be affected after boycotting the US products? There will be little effect on local businesses as products from the US will be replaced by local suppliers and from other countries. So it can even benefit local suppliers and encourage more production of goods domestically. Canada has long been a successful supplier of raw materials to the United States and other countries. Now this is a great opportunity to stop exporting the raw materials, and job creation and innovation come from processing those materials. Canada should encourage local production, which can also create jobs for Canadians. However, some countries are better at producing some things than other countries are, so diversifying Canada's trade partners might be a good move. Canada should focus on those countries where it has a comparative advantage, which includes renewable energy and processing steel and aluminum. Those two metals have now been hit with a 25% tariff if they are exported to the US. But how would the US farmers and businesses be affected by the boycott in Canada and Europe due to low demand from other countries after retaliatory tariffs? There is no doubt that US industries will be hurt, especially the agriculture sector could suffer the most. However, whether it will hurt more than a counter tariff depends on whether they can focus on a targeted set of products, how serious they are about it, and how much the Canadian government supports the boycott. We can expect that demand for US agriculture products would decline not only from Canada but also from Europe and China. And if you have soft demand, that means this is going to impact both the price and farmers' income. During Trump's first term, farmers received government subsidies when they suffered from retaliatory tariffs from China and other countries, but they should not expect subsidies this time under the new directive to cut government spending. So what's next for the United States? Although it is premature to assess the complete effects of the Boycott USA movement, certain American businesses executives are beginning to express their apprehensions. Takeshi Nimani, the CEO of Century Holdings, a prominent Japanese beverage company that owns Jim Beam, cautioned that American brands may face challenges in the global market due to tariffs and negative sentiments towards Trump. In response, European retailers are facilitating the avoidance of American products for consumers. For instance, Denmark's Selling Group, one of the nation's largest retail chains, is marking European items with a black star to help customers easily identify them. There is a possibility that global opposition to US trade policies may increase. Some analysts suggest that if the boycott persists, American businesses might have to consider rebranding or relocating their manufacturing operations outside the United States to mitigate consumer backlash. In the meantime, Canada and European countries are contemplating additional economic retaliation. Canadian officials have indicated that should Trump raise tariffs further, they will implement dollar-for-dollar counter actions. Concurrently, US tourism officials are working diligently to address the decline in Canadian visitors. The US Travel Association (USTA) had anticipated a 5% rise in Canadian tourists for 2025, but industry experts now believe this projection is unlikely. What began as a trade disagreement has transformed in a significant consumer revolt against US products. The Boycott USA movement illustrates the increasing dissatisfaction with Trump's policies and could have lasting effects on American brands, tourism, and even international relations for years to come. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for new videos on important international topics.